Baz Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann, Jack. Why does that name ring a bell? Baz Luhrmann. Barry Luhrmann. Is that Barry Luhrmann? Jack, I did a little stint at NIDA in the 90s. And Baz was in the same year, and we used to get down to Taco Tim's, talk about Stanislavski and the nature of existence. The nature of existence. We were just talking about that. That's spooky. What? We're on? Welcome back, viewers, to the wonderful Tropicana Resort. Hot and live here today. Now, we've got our second blogosphere question coming through. Yes. Kylie from Somerton Park. You've done all right for yourself, Kai. She writes, now let's hope this is as deep as the last one. Kylie writes, hang on, K-Y-L-I-E. Unbelievable. Your parents must have been onto it, Kai. Kylie writes, which AFL team do you support, Glen? Now that is a great question, Kai, and I'll tell you, I do not support an AFL team. I barrack for the mighty Sons of the West, Footy Bulldogs. You better believe it. Unbelievable. Now, Sons of the West, look, most of their good players come from South Australia now. We all know that. But I suppose you can't get too much further west. Otherwise, you end up in that other country there, Western Australasia. So it's all good there. Now, the Bulldogs and I, we go way back. One of my first memories, my mother and father used to go over to Mr. and Mrs. Whitten's place for a Sunday roast. And I must have been 5, I suppose. I remember young Teddy, EJ, he was probably 9, storming around the table saying, we stick it up and we stick it up and. Unbelievable. I would have got a clip over the ear for that. They just let him go. And it wasn't until decades later that all the pieces of the puzzle started falling into place, and I realised that young EJ was writing history even back then when he was 9. Unbelievable. So, the boys went up in the hub and the bubble, the hubble I call it. And I was down the doggery, cleaning up the Gatorade bottles, and decided to pop into the gym, trying to keep the COVID kgs off. And I was doing some reps with a Mr. Robert the Bob Murphy. You might be well acquainted with him. Number 2. And it seems that Robert was getting himself in shape for something. I don't know what it was. The young bullies, they made the finals. And now, Robert the Bob, he's pumping, iron, looking like an Adonis. Unbelievable. Now, Robert the Bob and I go way back. We met at some interpretive dance classes back in the late 90s. We attended a few banjarees after that. And it seems, a little birdie told me down at the doggery, that if the young dogs make the grand final, Robert the Bob will be pulling on his number 2 and he'll be coming out in the last quarter to wreak havoc. I know it sounds unbelievable, but I've heard it from the man himself. So that's unbelievable. Now, before we end this, I want to go to a couple more questions from the blogosphere. We have one from a Sharon who says, Glen, you're not really my cup of tea. Now, that's fair enough. Sharon from Adelaide, of course. Not everybody is everybody's cup of tea. Coffee is not a cup of tea. A Milo is not a cup of tea. So it takes all sorts. It's like a family assortment array. And I'm just one of the Monte Carlos, shall we say. Now, I think there is something in that for all of us. And one last, we've had something come through the blogosphere. It's from the Northern Territory government. Unbelievable. Hang on a second. My name is in capital letters. I don't like that. Dear Mr. Everyman, I regret to inform you that we will not be footing the bill for your quarantine. What? Jimmy, did you know about this? Jackie! It's unbelievable. Jimmy, I'm leaving tomorrow. How much is my bill, mate? 3.5 grand. It's unbelievable, mate. I haven't had a bloody beer in 4 days. If you go anywhere near your pool, less of a pool and more a COVID swamp, mate. 3.5 grand. Unbelievable. Well, we better have a word from our sponsors and make some money. Jackie, did you know that this is going on?
The Butter Kingston man's in town.
Butter Kingston, Butter Kingston, Butter Kingston.
Butter Kingston, exciting casual and business shoes for men of action. Rich leathers, incredibly soft suedes. For men of action, Butter Kingston.
There's a new beauty on Australian roads, the new Falcon. The trim, taut, terrific new cars where grace takes on a wonderful new look. The new Falcon's the car you'll stop to look at and like. Its crisp, clean lines of elegance give the Falcon an even more unmistakable leadership in style. The dramatic new front end speaks of tomorrow today. Falcon's the car you'll stop to look at and like. The new Thunderbird-inspired roofline adds its own touch of distinction to the trim, taut, terrific new Falcon. The car you'll stop to look at and like. Wherever you see it, you'll be conscious of lean, clean, unmatched beauty. It's the car you'll stop to look at and like. With all its new loveliness, Falcon's still the same tough customer you've always admired. Lovely combination of beauty and brawn. Yes, Falcon really is the car you'll stop to look at and like. See the trim, taut, terrific new Falcon at your Ford dealers now.